A Nation Divided, The Shadow of 1947. India, 1947. A year that marked the end of colonial rule and the dawn of independence, but also the beginning of a painful chapter in history. A date etched in history, marking not just the birth of a nation, but also a wound that continues to bleed. The joy of freedom was overshadowed by the agony of partition, a division that tore through the very fabric of society. The partition of India, the division of a land steeped in ancient wisdom and vibrant diversity, stands as a stark reminder of the human cost of division. Families were torn apart, communities shattered, and a river of blood flowed through the newly drawn borders. It serves as a timeless lesson, echoing through generations, a testament to the enduring power of unity and the devastating consequences of discord. Leaders like Gandhi and Nehru envisioned a united India, but the reality was far more complex and heartbreaking. The story of the partition is not merely a historical event, it is an intricate tapestry woven with threads of hope and despair, courage and loss. Negotiations that were meant to bring peace instead led to one of the largest mass migrations in human history. It is a saga of millions uprooted, their lives fractured by the stroke of a pen on a map. Families carried their entire lives in bundles, walking towards an uncertain future. The partition was a watershed moment, irrevocably changing the subcontinent's destiny. The newly formed borders created not just two nations, but also a legacy of conflict and a quest for identity. It is a story that demands to be told and retold, for in understanding its complexities lies the key to healing, reconciliation, and a future where such tragedies are never repeated. The lessons of 1947 continue to resonate, urging us to strive for a world where unity prevails over division. Seeds of discord, British rule, and rising tensions. To comprehend the partition, we must journey back to the era of British colonialism, a time when the British Empire's influence was deeply entrenched in the Indian subcontinent. For centuries, the British Empire held sway over India, exploiting its vast resources and shaping its political landscape to serve its own interests. The British established extensive railways, factories, and administrative systems, all designed to benefit the colonial power. Yet, beneath the surface of imperial control, simmered a cauldron of religious and cultural identities. India was a land of immense diversity, with numerous languages, religions, and traditions coexisting often uneasily under British rule. The British policy of divide and rule exacerbated existing fissures within Indian society, particularly between the Hindu and Muslim communities. By favoring certain groups over others, the British deepened the divides, making it easier to maintain control, but sowing seeds of discord. As the struggle for independence gained momentum, so too did the voices of those who sought separate nations based on religious lines. The Indian independence movement was a complex tapestry of aspirations, with different groups envisioning different futures for the subcontinent. The Muslim League, under the leadership of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, began advocating for a separate Muslim state, arguing that the Muslim minority would be marginalized in a Hindu-majority independent India. Jinnah's vision was for a nation where Muslims could live without fear of oppression. The Indian National Congress, led by Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru, championed a unified India, emphasizing secularism and unity. They believed that a united India could overcome its internal differences and emerge stronger. However, despite their best efforts, the chasm deepened, fueled by political maneuvering and escalating communal violence. The dream of a harmonious, united India was increasingly overshadowed by the harsh realities of division and conflict. The dream of a united, independent India was slowly giving way to a painful reality of division. The subcontinent was on the brink of a monumental change, one that would reshape its future forever. The Radcliffe Line, drawing borders, dividing lives. Entrusted with the monumental task of dividing a nation was a British lawyer, Sir Cyril Radcliffe, who had never set foot in India. Despite his lack of familiarity with the land and its people, he was given just 5 weeks to complete this daunting assignment. Tasked with demarcating the borders of India and Pakistan, Radcliffe faced an impossible mission: to draw lines on a map that would divide not just land, but also people, cultures, and centuries-old bonds. The pressure was immense, and the stakes were incredibly high. The Radcliffe Line, as it came to be known, was drawn hastily, with little regard for the intricate tapestry of communities that had long coexisted on the subcontinent. The line cut through villages, farmlands, and even homes, disrupting lives in unimaginable ways. What followed was a mass exodus, a human migration unprecedented in history. Families were torn apart, and entire communities were uprooted overnight, leading to chaos and suffering on an unimaginable scale. Millions of Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs were caught on the wrong side of the newly drawn borders, forced to flee their ancestral homes in a desperate bid for survival. They left behind everything they had ever known, carrying only memories and the hope of finding safety. The partition, once a concept debated in hallowed halls of power, had become a brutal reality for millions. The violence and displacement that ensued left deep scars, the echoes of which are still felt today.